sweetie. I don't know if it's local. I like it. Hazy IPA. I don't know anything about it. So today I want to talk about Ceropegia Woodii. These guys are so cool. The little leaves look like hearts. They grow in a vine. And my notes say that they are related to the milkweed family. And these guys are native to South Africa and Swaziland and I think Zimbabwe. The undersides of some of these leaves turn purple, which I think is really cool. There we go. Oh, I'm trying not to disturb these so much because this is like my 14th time trying to record this video and I'm just not happy with it, so I keep redoing it. But you can see they're kind of purpley. The stems are purple, the undersides of the leaves that get a lot of light turn purple, and the tops of the leaves, when it gets more light, they get more brightly colored. Like I said, you water it when it's really dry, and you water it thoroughly, so water comes out the bottom, and you get rid of any water that comes out the bottom immediately. The nodes have the ability to produce roots as well as leaves, which is really nice. So this plant can be propagated quite readily. There are several ways to propagate this plant. I'm taking the cutting or the vine and I'm just coiling it back on itself into the pot so that the top of the pot gets more full. You can take a little cutting from one end, like here, there's no other end, and then maybe right here. So it makes a very small little section and you stick that in the pot. So that's two ways to propagate. You can cut like the butterfly method and stick them back in the soil, or lay the vines on the soil. The third way I want to talk about propagating is by seed. So seeds are not really something that I look to buy on the internet unless it's coming from a seed company and I'm ordering like vegetables. I don't want to buy tropical houseplant seeds typically because it's a scam a lot of times. Like you're not going to get the right seeds. That being said, when I got this as a cutting, one of the 3-node cuttings had a flower on it, and that flower got fertilized and created a seed pod, and that was sent to me. I didn't care. I thought it looked really cool, so I collected all these seeds and I put them in a bag, and at that time I was living in Cleveland, Ohio, and winter was coming. I decided I didn't want to have seeds propagating at that time. I saved them until maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago. It's probably closer to 2 months now. So I took the seeds and I laid them on top of some regular potting soil. I wouldn't recommend that necessarily because there's a lot of nutrients and a lot of things can go wrong. But that's all I had because quarantine. It's still all I have because quarantine. So I potted these guys up and like I said, I just laid them on top of the soil. I misted it heavily and then I covered it with a pint glass. And most of them sprouted. So these were the seeds from a cutting that I got, and I just thought that was so cool that I was able to do that. On these seeds on these little seedlings in particular, you can see some little brown spots that kind of look, they're not really bug-like. Well, they're kind of bug-like, and that is the seed husk. Most of these did sprout, but I can count some of the seeds that did not. And they're really cool. I didn't think that would happen. So what I did, like I said just a second ago, I took this little pot, and this pot has no drainage, so I'm not using it for much. And I have regular, it's pretty heavy potting mix, but I put this beer glass right on top, and it's been sitting in my north-facing window. But now the seedlings are starting to bend towards the light more, so I think I'm going to have to move them into this window here. This is my southern facing window. But these guys have been living under this humidity dome, not all the time. After your seedlings come up, you want to make sure that you take the dome off. I have been taking it on and off intermittently to help with, first of all, air circulation, and also there is a bit of mold growth in this potting mix, as well as some straight up mushrooms. Well, the mushrooms are good signs of healthy potting medium. I don't want them to overtake my little babies. But I just wanted to show that because nobody ever really shows seedlings like this. And it's pretty rewarding. I've had to wait a long time for them to come to this point, but I think it's really cool. That's what I wanted to say about the Ceropegia Woodii, or string of hearts plant, and the little seedlings here. So if you like geeking out about plants with me, and learning about plants in general, don't forget to subscribe. If you just like drinking beer and talking about plants, I'm your girl.